Hi everybody, Dan Illman here taking a look at race number 10 at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. Let's throw up the field for the Tropical Park Derby. 3-year-olds going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. $100,000 is the purse. It's an overflow field, but the number 2 Never Surprised should go off favored for trainer Todd Pletcher, a 98 Beyer speed figure in his most recent race. That was the Gio Ponte at Aqueduct, a race in which he went to the front, got a little bit of a breather, and sprinted on home. Now, as we take a peek at the Timeform US pace projector for the Tropical Park Derby, Never Surprised might not have it as easy. You'll note the red bar and the fast-paced designation. Never Surprised, I think, will make the lead in here. I think that the 7 Lamplighter Jack is also going to go. King of Dreams, the 8. Timeform US believes he actually might be the quickest of the quick. I think at this point in his career, King of Dreams is rateable, and I would be very surprised if King of Dreams goes to the front. But I do think the 2 and the 7 could set a fast pace. It could set things up for stalkers and closers, and some of those horses should offer good value in this spot. The number 1 is Sigiloso, and I can understand anyone that takes a look at his last race, the Showing Up Stakes, and say, A, he's not a synthetic horse. His best races have come on turf. And B, when you watch the trip, especially in your formulator past performances, just by clicking on the comment line, you'll notice that this horse was in and among, entering the second turn, all the way through the turn, bounced and buffeted around in between horses, and he still finished okay to be third. I think this horse is in nice form right now. You go back to his race on the turf 2-back, he actually had enough speed to get to the front and wire that field. There's a chance he could work out a nice pace-tracking, ground-saving trip under Amici Jaramillo. Let's watch Never Surprised's last race. It was the Gio Ponte. He had finished second in his 3 prior races, all graded stakes, 2 against the very good 3-year-old Public Sector. In the Gio Ponte, he just scooted around those tight turns at Aqueduct, got a little bit of a breather again on the backstretch, but as you see, he pounds the field, and Safe Conduct, who's back in the Tropical Park Derby, cannot make any late headway. That horse finishing second behind Never Surprised. Obviously, if he runs anything close to that 98 Beyer speed figure, he is going to be more than a handful in the Tropical Park Derby. He is a strong contender. He's also going to take a lot of play, and it could be a little bit different from a pace dynamic standpoint this time around. We just saw Safe Conduct finish second in the Gio Ponte, and if you're familiar with Safe Conduct's name, it's because he's a classic winner. He won the prestigious Queen's Plate back in August over a synthetic surface. They tried him in the Breeders' Stakes, the 3rd jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown on turf, and 1.5 miles might have been just a little bit too far. He set the pace that day and tired. We saw him finish second in the Gio Ponte. He did some of the dirty work, chasing Never Surprised early. He's kind of quick from the gate. I think he doesn't really like to be covered up in behind horses too much. He might be in chase mode once again. He does obviously have figures in class that make him interesting. The 4 is In Effect, who is really hoping the Timeform US pace projector is correct and that the pace is fast. His one and only win came for a $75,000 tag at Churchill Downs during the spring, where he rallied from 14 lengths off the lead to win. His last 2 starts, he's been in some tough stakes races. He's only finished ahead of 1 horse in those 2 races combined. He's going to have to improve, but we know Jack Sisterson can pull off some big upsets. In Effect's going to need some pace and race luck. The 5 is Yes This Time, and let's watch his most recent race, the Bryan Station at Keeneland, over soft going. Yes This Time ran well in here. He's going to finish 3rd. The 5th place horse would come back to run 3rd in an optional claimer at Turfway Park with an 89 Beyer, and then 3rd in a stakes race at Turfway Park with a Beyer in the 80s as well. Yes This Time, I'm a big fan of this horse. He's not flashy. He shows up to play just about every time. He's won 6 of 11 starts in his career. It doesn't matter whether it's soft turf or firm, whether he's on the lead or whether he comes from dead last. He's likely to find a good spot under Tyler Gaffalione, and while I wonder how much improvement is left, he's already raced 11 times, maybe he's reached his ceiling. A little bit of a Beyer improvement puts him in the mix, and again, he's tactical enough that he can work out the right kind of trip. Fighting Force is the number 6. This horse is in pretty good form right now. Second in the Showing Up Stakes last time out, where he rallied from off of a fast pace and got into the picture late to be a non-threatening second. Again, he is in good form. He has shown good form on the turf, stakes-winning form over yielding going. But like this time, I wonder if he's a bit exposed. 14 starts on his resume. He ran a fast race 2 starts back over Synthetic. He's the kind of horse, again, trip's going to be very important for him. He's a late runner. He should get the right setup. Will he get the right trip? Lamplighter Jack is the 7. Let's watch his most recent race. He was dangled for a $20,000 claiming tag in this optional heat at Hawthorne, and he went right to the front, set a half-mile split of 50-1, sprinted on home to win. Career best buyer effort for a horse that's won 3 out of his last 4 starts. He takes a big step up in class. In some ways, he's the key to the race. Does he have the quality speed to go with Never Surprised early? Because if he doesn't, it's possible that Never Surprised just shakes loose and wires them again like he did in the Gio Ponte. If he has the quality speed to occupy Never Surprised, he could set things up for other horses, one of them being the 8 King of Dreams. Looking at King of Dreams' form, it's easy to surmise that perhaps he's just found a home on the Tapeta surface at Gulfstream. Let's watch his last race, the Showing Up. His Synthetic debut was the race prior, where he went 5.5 furlongs and earned a career best 86. In this race, the Showing Up, he chased a solid pace, made the lead at the 3/8 pole, and sprinted on home to earn a 90 buyer speed figure. I like his versatility. He's won at 5.5, he's won at 1 1/8, and he's learned in his last 2 races that he can sit and finish. King of Dreams, I thought, beat a decent enough field in that Showing Up stakes. He's handled turf in the past, and he's not speed crazy anymore. He could be sharp at a price. And if you don't believe he's just a synthetic horse, that he's just maturing at the right time as he heads into his 4-year-old campaign, he might be ready for a big effort. Gray Streak is the number 9. Gray Streak finished second last time out in the Hawthorne Derby behind Mose, and I thought he had a pretty good trip all in all in that race. The pace was not fast. They went a half mile and 50 and change. Gray Streak was riding the pocket, and Mose, who was actually behind him and had to work a little bit more considering the slow pace, was just better than him in the lane. Gray Streak ran just fine for Rusty Arnold. He's lightly raced, a lot of upside potential. I want to see a little bit more, though, for Gray Streak. He's a horse that I do want to consider in my exotic wagers. Mose is the number 10, and I think he's another horse at a price that can make his presence felt late. Another horse that's learning to rate. He was on the lead 3 starts back on the dirt. That didn't work out. He got back to turf. He won the Hawthorne Derby over Gray Streak coming from off the pace. And then last time at Aqueduct against a tough field of older horses, he ran a pretty decent 4th. He's getting better with each and every start. Mose has figures that, other than Never Surprised the favorite, is very competitive with these horses, and he should get the right setup. Starlit Sky goes out for trainer Shug McGahee. This horse was 7th in the Bryan Station. Let's take that race with several grains of salt. A, it was over a soft turf course that this colt didn't need to like, and 2, it was his first race since Kentucky Derby weekend. He probably needed the start. This horse was a graded stakes winner in the spring, might be racing himself back into form for Shug, did very good work at Gulfstream Park during last year's championship meet. Perhaps this horse is a sleeper, making his second start of the form cycle. Hot Blooded is the 12. Let's watch his last race at Tampa Bay Downs, a 2 other than optional claimer. He ran fine in here. He was second behind a decent horse, Newsworthy. He broke from the far outside post and was hung wide most of the way around the track. I do wonder if he's been a bit exposed. He's raced in some stakes company and hasn't gotten there since that Proud Man Stakes at Gulfstream Park as a 2-year-old. Perhaps he's just a notch below the main contenders. 13 through 15 are also eligibles. We take a look at my top pick. I do respect Never Surprised. You have to with the buyer. You have to with the connections. I think King of Dreams might be coming into his own, and I think he can work out a decent trip in the second flight off the speeds. He's going to be a good price in this race. He's won it short. He's won going long, and I think he can handle turf just as well as synthetic. So the 8 King of Dreams will be my pick in the Tropical Park Derby at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. Good luck.